You see that hind? We're gonna take it.
We have James Burns here from Black Ops. James is Frank Woods in Black Ops.
Welcome back. It's time to announce the character of the year. Yeah. All right, and the winner is Sergeant Woods, Call of Duty Black Ops.
Looks don't count for shit in the jungle. It's nah, baby.
It's you! Yes! Yes!
Frank Woods.
Frank Woods! Yeah! Call of Duty Black Ops!
I'm here with Dave Anthony, director of Black Ops, and we are here at House of Moves because we are going into the mocap room to do something a little special with Frank Woods. Can you tell me how he was able to steal the spotlight and the VGA nomination when he's not even a playable character?
The actor James Burns, if you knew this guy and if you meet him, you will instantly know the answer to this. James is such a charismatic guy, and he just is this character.
So you are Sergeant Frank Woods in Call of Duty Black Ops.
Ma'am. You think I'm fucking nuts? This guy.
All right, good Saturday morning to everybody. Welcome. Good to see you all here in 2026. Wow, what a night, huh? Hey, Rabbits 141. Wow, what a night. You guys watching the news? The U.S. military does what it does best, and that is just, wow, I'm impressed by that. Big deal, guys. This is a big conversation to have today. Hey, Ben Taylor, I'm doing great, yeah. It's a big conversation to have. I mean, there's a lot to be looked at. There's a lot to be scrutinized because, yeah. Hey, Cold Heat, how you doing? It's great. It's a happy New Year. Got a good jump on 2026. I'm happy about it. Yeah, I am well. Thank you. All right, why is this not working? Hang on a second. I got to make sure that the Instagram side is working here. All right. Yeah, I have to figure that stuff. Hey, Danielle, how you doing? What is this? Yeah, I've been watching all morning. A lot going on. There's a lot going on there. You know, like what's going to happen. It really is what happens next. You know, that's all well and good, but what happens next? You know, I'm curious to see what's going on next. So, yeah, huge plans. January 14th, I got the EP. Well, it's probably an album now. They got 10 songs coming out, 11 songs coming out on the 14th of January. That I'll start promoting it. Probably on Monday. Yeah, so get ready. Yeah, a lot of great stuff. A lot of stuff you never heard before. Really, really excited about it. And we're getting there. We're getting there. I know I've been threatening this for years now, but it's finally done. I finally have content that I think is worthy to be listened to. So that's where we're at. Yeah. Plus, I got a couple movies coming out that I got to figure out. Hey, Western friends, how you doing, buddy? What's it? Bapaboopy? Bappity boopy? Hey, man, good to see you. All right, who's there? Don't need no man, stop telling me. Happy New Year's. Divine Zelig, one of my favorites, of course. Yeah. I think that was his name. No, it was Yeah, don't even get into that shit today. I'm not in a fucking mood. Hey, Vic fan, how you doing? So you want to talk about current events because it's. Let's talk about what do you got? What's going on? What are your goals and desires for 2026? But more importantly, what are your plans of doing? What are your plans to get there? Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure how the news is going to cover it. I mean, here in America, it's a real contentious point. Like, you know, we're so bifurcated, which means that we are split, and there really is no. It's very hard to have a conversation with somebody who is on what they consider the other side of things. I mean, you can have nuance in your thought. You can like some things about what he's doing, and then you can not like other things. But I push back mostly on the left with this, but you know, conservatives do it too. It's all or nothing, you know. Well, you like the color green. Well, Hitler liked green, so you must be Hitler. You know, that's the idiocy that we're faced with right now. That no one sees the nuance, and you know, there's so much. From what I read, from what I understand, I've been watching. I love my guy Nick Fritas, who I think is a fucking national treasure. His alignment, the way he thinks, is so cleanly critical, and he's so nuanced, and we need more people like him to kind of break it down. You got to be able to see a lot of what's happening across the board, not just your own. Do I support Trump? Absolutely. Do I think he is now testing a boundary? Yeah, I think how much investment of time, treasure, and personnel are we going to put into Venezuela? You know, that's the thing. And whatever comes out of Europe is probably going to be negative. You know, whatever that comes out of CNN will definitely be. I mean, if you watch anything from that kid, that Nick Shirley kid who's gone on looking at the fraud in Minnesota, CNN didn't go check on the fraud. They went there to prove Nick Shirley was a racist. So you can't. I mean, I really have no faith in CNN. I have no faith in. And I have very close friends who are, you know, really vote on that side of things, and they can't get out of the bubble. I love them dearly, and I will never stop loving them. But at some point, you know, trying to say, look, you're missing the big picture. It's got to stop saying it, because if someone only wants to have an emotional reaction to things, then that's all you're going to have. And it's pretty hard. And the thing is, with social media and all the things, we're trained to have these instant emotional reactions, and that's just being on your freaking phone too long, you know. Well, but Cam, that's how both sides are treated. I mean, you know, even within the Conservative Party, you know, people are just, you know, one issue defines the whole thing. And like a lot of the platforms, you know, if we end up in an extended military presence in Venezuela, that's a bad idea. We did it in Vietnam. It doesn't go well. You know, it's just get in there, get out, and, you know, I think the guy, is it Gonzalez, who was the guy who got basically who won the election, but Maduro stole it back from him. I think he should be given an opportunity to show what he can do. But I really, you know, I mean, yeah, protect. I mean, I think the oil industry's got to be smart. You can't go there and just rape the fucking land this time. Go there, give people jobs, you know, build the economy in Venezuela, make people happy, and then it'll be okay. But I don't trust the intelligence of rich people, because they're showing me they don't have much. They're almost as dumb as the fucking communists sometimes. Yeah, well, it's all over the world right now. You know, it's not just the U.S. It's all over the world, and it's more of it. You go to Africa, it's even worse. In Africa, it's not tens, it's tens of thousands. So it's all over the world. Decisions have got to be made by each individual, I think. Hey, Michelle, how you doing? I saw Steiner. You're there. Good to see you again. The problem is, it is worth debating. It is, because without without talking about it, without having the ability to speak and say, okay, here, because we don't find the middle, and we're so close on so many things. I mean, me and my people, I call them my people on my left. We agree on so many things. They just hate the orange man. They just hate him for no other reason than they have been, I think, brainwashed by NPR, basically, and I'm glad we get rid of it. I love NPR when they did, Wait, Don't Tell Me, which unfortunately became super political, so I stopped listening to that. And Car Talk was great, and the Radio Talk. It's so many great shows. Then they became politics, and then they became a mouthpiece for this very socialist way of thinking. Anyways, so I get it. No, Darwin's not coming on today. No Darwin today. Darwin's hard at work, I think. With his new puppy. Hey, Nemesis Woods, how you doing, buddy? I don't think Reznov was a commie. I don't think he was. Yeah, well, there you go. COD zombies. It's a good life. The fact that we can sit here and just throw a video game into the mix of this conversation of world events. This. Oh, Extani, I got tons of plans. I just finished my BMI registrations of my album. It's called Burns and Music 1. It's going to be 10 or 11 songs. I get to decide in the last song. That's all the BMI stuff. So all the registrations done now. I got it loaded up to TuneCore, set the release date, and then start promoting it. So yeah, it's big. It's gonna be great. I'm very excited about it. I've been working on the live performance of a few things. I'm writing a couple new stuff, some new songs. Really had some inspiration over the last 5 days, and good inspiration, actually. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's funny. It's good. It's good you say that because it's good because we've kind of, if you follow geo activity, world activity, right? China's out is now raping the shores of South America, all over Chile. They have these fleets of 1,000. I mean, they got 1 billion people to feed. So, and their fisheries are dying off of China. And this is where the big wars will be fought, is fish. And now they're off the coast of South America, and they're just basically sucking all the fish out of there. And if you don't give the fisheries a chance to reestablish, this happened in the Northeast years ago, with the cod fisheries. There were no fish left. So they said, okay, you got to stop fishing for 2 years. And there are people who that's their livelihood. And you can't fish for 2 years. Because you got to let the fish repopulate. You got to let them get strong. If you keep killing all the fish, they can't make new fish. It takes about 2 years to grow a cod to where it's edible, and it's called a fishery, and that's what's happening off of Latin America. And the oil, and there's so many things that are beyond just Maduro being a narco terrorist. I guess is what he's called. There's so many things beyond that. This is part of the Monroe Doctrine. So, all right, here we go. We talking about women. Best president in my lifetime. It's got to be Trump. I agree with him. I mean, I'm with Trump 75% of the stuff he's doing. I think I really don't want Wade so slow bringing people to justice. I think there are things going on. Fraud. I think the politics, and I think there's things that I don't know. But him, no doubt. I really had high hopes for Obama, but after his first term and after watching him basically create a racial narrative around everything, because remember, Obama's mother was white, but you never knew that. You only saw him as a black man, not as a white man. So that was a really interesting thing for me to watch him kind of create that division, or it just fanned the flames a bit. You know, it's that it's CNN, it's all the and you know, Fox mixed that too. Anyways, let's see. Your goal for 2020 is just going to Thailand. Oh, I have never been. Egypt. I want to go to Egypt too. Good. Get it done. Get it done. Get it done now. Don't wait. I traveled a lot when I was in my 20s, man. I was everywhere. Almost every country in Europe I've been to. Been to Japan a couple times. Been to Honduras, Chile. You know, been to Mexico many times. So yeah, get it done. Get out there and come to the States, man. In America, you could spend a year driving around. I had the privilege of spending time in an RV going across the country, and one of the greatest things I ever did. To this day, it fills my soul. Yeah. But Joseph Vimby, this guy, yeah. Extania. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think when you look at that time period, everybody was revolutionary. In Russia, there's two communist parties, Bolsheviks and Mensheviks, and they were at war. That was a civil war. Then you had the Tsar, but the Tsars pretty much lost control of the army, and then so basically it was Stalin who consolidated the army first, and then what he did was just he sent all the opposing party. I think it was. Grigor, I can't remember his name, but so basically what Stalin did is he made, see, the Bolsheviks, the Reds and the Whites, right? He sent the Whites into battle first and killed off all the resistance to, so that was, yeah. It's not a good look. I mean, the thing that Mandami did yesterday, talking about the frigid individual, I mean, no. That's what Stalin said. You guys got to start fucking paying attention. You got to start paying attention. It's not a good place to go. I know they're offering us free shit. They offer you free shit, and it's free for a reason. Okay, nothing is free in life, and it's like you got to learn it fast. You know, you guys are off. I'm off on a tangent, and you're sitting there. No, I'm not. Rare earth elements, brother. You know about that story. That's hopefully we get our shit together and start mining it here, mining it responsibly. We got to start being self-sufficient because China's in for trouble. China, I mean, China's got what? I really can't get a clear view of what's happening over there. I listened to a lot of different viewpoints on it. They have a population decline. I know they ran out of women because they, for years, for decades, they only wanted, male offspring and one child policy. Next thing China's got, so they got issues inside that I'm not sure that we even understand yet. Well, that's like a war. You join people in your bigger tribe, and once that's over, or you get betrayed within that conflict, it's a very common writing tool. Wasn't your first president Truman? No, it was Kennedy. Actually, it wasn't. I was born under Truman, not Truman, Eisenhower. Under Eisenhower. Do I like tariffs? I think the idea of tariffs is misunderstood. I think there will be a good result from it. If people are charging us to sell our product in another country, then we should be able to charge them the same for selling the products here. And what that does, if you can make a product cheaper here in the States, then that will happen. But what happened was we started bringing all this really low budget, low price shit in from China and Japan back in the day, and it undercut it in Mexico and undercut our industry drastically. So what this does, it makes the price of all these basically free, these very inexpensive goods a little more expensive. Now, hopefully what that does, it makes people say, okay, instead of having pay the shipping cost, the foreign production cost, all you add these tariffs, it's now more economically feasible to make the product here in the States. And that means, okay, people here get jobs and life gets better here. But it takes it's like a huge ship that we're trying to turn around. It takes a while for that to happen. Yeah. Yeah, I actually worked on his campaign. I tried to raise some money for the guy. I really thought his whole thing was like, this is okay. Let's put a man. Let's put a guy in there, and he's got some great ideas. And I just thought that the minute he got in, it's just he just changed. Everything changed. Oh, no. I think they care. I just think that it's a hard market now. Don't call it milking. They invest a lot of money in this. It's not like they invest billions to make billions. But at the end of the day, they're still making a product. And here's the thing. If you don't like the product, don't buy it. Okay? This is like, there's no gun to your head saying no one's telling you have to buy a product. That's the freedom you have right now. It's just what I'm saying. You're going to lose that. We keep going down. Like guys at Madami, what's happening up in Minnesota. You're going to lose all that capability. It's going to go away. It's slowly. So you're only going to have limited. You're going to get when government gets control of your life. It tells you what to buy, what to think, what to wear. Just go study China. Just go study Russia. How they try to make everybody unisex and every wore the same uniform. Just get off the fucking internet. Just take a class. But if you're at a liberal institution like an Ivy League, don't do it because it's going to be corrupted. You're in a tough place. Just go online. Go Hillsdale College. Go study Victor Hansen. Get a much cleaner view of things. So no, I don't think. I think they care. I think they're limited by what they can actually do, and I think everything changes. I think the whole industry is going to change, and the more that we go into the world of AI, the more you're going to change. And also, remember, for years I've talked about this. Pay attention to what you pay attention to, because the most important thing you have to offer the world is your attention. And if you're selling it for trinkets, you're doing yourself a disservice. Yeah, this is a domestic. I think what just happened is addressing a domestic issue from the outside in. I think controlling the border is great. I think getting the military to become stronger is good. I think making a statement that we will use diplomacy, soft and hard diplomacy, is good, because we lost that influence, and it's important. I think from most places when America touches it, it ends up better than when we got there. Now, do we cause havoc? Sure, but at the end of the day, it's still, I think 80% of the places that we touch end up being better. Yeah, Jan, I get it. And I'm sure that's part and parcel to the news feeds you get, because when you look at the whole picture, the people you have around them, they're really just very much they're good people. I like so I totally get it. And most people who hate Trump hate him because of the constant, all you see is the worst in him. Like the BBC, what they did, they totally lied. They totally manufactured something about January 6th. And the BBC has been, and if you're in England, UK, yeah, the BBC it's can't be trusted, and even as I watch some of the news feeds from England, like they just lie to you, just like CNN lies to us, just like MSNBC, the CBS, they lie to you, And when you hear a lie enough, you start believing, oh, that's what he's really like. I know people who know him, and he's kind of a great guy, from what I understand. And there are people who've been around him and had access to him who say, no, he's pretty great. He's a decent human being. But like any other actor, he's kind of has his persona that goes out. So be careful. Try to give up this stance that you hate somebody or you despise somebody, and go in and take a deep go look on what people say good about him as well. You always got to look at both sides of it. You got to look at both sides. You can't just take on the opinion of, especially with BBC or CBS or Jimmy fucking Kimmel, who I used to really like. I used to really like Jimmy. Now he's just this. He's just, I don't understand how it gets that way, Hey, Spider-Man. Yeah, do it. It is very romantic. You should really look into it. It's I had that opportunity, and I would do it again. Absolutely. It's magnificent. So if you're gonna marry your girl, take her on an RV. I promise you, it's a lifestyle. You especially if you're able to go slow, if you're able to slow down and just do a couple 100 miles a day and just take a day or two at each stop. It's kind of great. Don't get into the idea that you got to race across country. Find 3, 4, or 5 stops, land there, and then just, in my experience, knocking out 200 miles, 250 miles a day. You leave early in the morning, and then you ride by 3. Stay a day, stay 2 days. Just go out, rent the scooter, rent the 4-wheeler. And go off and have an adventure. Yeah, Spider-Man, I really, good for you, man. Good for you. Yeah. Trotsky, from what I understand, my Trotsky was sort of a precursor to all that. I don't think it wasn't. Trotsky was sort of the precursor to Stalin. I think Stalin worked under Trotsky. I know he betrayed him at some point. Russian history is really a bit complicated too, and a bit inaccurate. Because remember, the victor tells a story, and all we have really Solzhenitsyn and Tolstoy and a lot of these writers who managed to get out of it to give you the opposing, because they destroyed all the books, they destroyed all the history, and yeah. That's right. You came to New York. I love New York. I lived in New York for 15 years. I love New York. Now, I'm really concerned what's going to happen there next. I don't know what's going to happen. I think as with every communist or socialist infection, law and order goes away. They start putting criminals on the street to keep things destabilized, and then and this is right out of the playbook, Stalin's playbook. You just destabilize the population, make law enforcement be unfair. It's like it is in England, 2-tier, so people get frustrated and they just quit being concerned, and then create havoc. And then all of a sudden you say, well, okay, we're going to fix your havoc, and now you gotta be careful. Pay attention. Go read Animal Farm. Go 1984. Go study this stuff. Well, for me, really old it's the Civil War. I grew up in the 60s, so I don't know, man. Let's see. What is the hardest thing to motion capture quality in terms of physical skills? No, mocap's not annoying. Acting is great. It's a gift. It's a blessing. Just remembering the protocols. you know, just remembering the protocols. It's like you've got to do a T pose, but once you learn how to use the requirements and the challenges, then all of a sudden it feeds you. Like a T pose was, I turned it from being something that was sort of a problem, something that I couldn't perform without it, because it became a process, right? Woodsy, what's going on, man? Yeah, just be aware that the way we think dictates the way we flow. So just be open to it and know that know that you have to breathe, listen to what's there, take the advice, and make sure that you are ready to just move on. Take care of yourself, but it takes everything small steps. I start my training program today. Everything is small steps. No, not scary at all, man. It's exciting. It's 2026. Nothing changed. Nothing changes. It's just like an extension to 2025. Not really. The only a handful of guys in Black Ops 2 were celebrities, you know. Yeah, I think that's true, and I think the reason for that, is that you have expectations, and they can't. There's certain limitations. You can only do so much. You can't make everybody happy, so you try to find the generalizations that can get the most people to be satisfied with it. James, you call me Sarge. I don't give a shit. I mean, people have been calling me Sarge now for years. Dave Anthony calls me Sarge all the time, and I think we're like friends. Hey, Pedro. Yeah, well, Dave was he's a unicorn, man. He was really special, and that's something that really makes sense. But Dave was a unicorn, he really was. I have no idea what's going on here. Kind of confused. And I think what happens is just the people who made the original game are no longer there. So you got people who are jumping on board, and they don't understand where it came from, and they're bringing new ideas to it, which may not line up with the again, it's like everything else. It's all growth and change, and the industry changed. It went from being multiplayer to being the Warzone. It became this battle royale format. So yeah, I heard about Vince. Yeah, I'm not going to talk about that. I don't know Vince really well, but it's really upsetting what happened, and what a sad and useless way to. It's a tragic waste of life, I think. Hey, Spider-Man. Well, it affects domestic issues. It affects things in a big way. It also it gets things in order. Like, if you're familiar with the Monroe Doctrine it's basically a statement, basically after World War II. I'm going to paraphrase this. That whatever happens in the Western Hemisphere, that's ours. That's our business. So that's why Cuba was such a big deal, and Russia tried to put missiles here. It's like, all right, that's a big deal. And it's a false equivalency to say that missiles in Europe are the same as missiles in Cuba. No, they're not, because Europe, that it's a different thing. So part of the Monroe Doctrine is we want our neighbors to be, I think Trump said this thing, to be benign. We want them to be either, with us. But what's happened is the Russians and the Chinese have gotten in there, and people want money. People are greedy. People want power. And if you're offered power, and and it goes against the benefit of your own people, then people do that. It's like we're still a strange species. We haven't figured it out yet, But yeah, I think domestically it's going to have a big deal. But it's going to give resistance. You're going to hear, like, what's his name? Booker You know, it's going to be like no one's going to support anything Trump does. Trump could solve cancer, and I think they would still find a way to. Well, you can't solve. You know, why am I going to take that treatment? But it'll cure your cancer. I don't care. Trump invented it. So I think we're that stupid. I think our part of this country is not stupid. It's just emotionally crippled at this point. I didn't see that. That's something I think he would do. That's something I think he would do. Yeah. Well, you know, he is the blunt object that was needed to just show up. Like now we're all good. Now when someone calls you a name, you know, or tries to intimidate you by suggesting that maybe you're a racist. No, I'm not a racist. I just see patterns, and these patterns are legitimate. So I think he kind of created the freedom to just stand up for yourself and say, yeah, don't paint me with that. Don't try to intimidate me with that rhetoric, because it's most of it's inaccurate. So I think because the whole thing is that it's. I never thought I would. Anyways, yeah, I think he could communicate that in a more sophisticated way, but I think he's what we need right now. And then the next is going to be I think, a little more like a JD Vance. Whenever you want to, man, there's no rule for that. Whenever you're done being happy looking at it, when you're done looking at it, you know. Did they bring back Menendez? Now, here's the thing. I think they might have recorded that before he passed. I know he was telling me that he was going in. I know Rich McDonald came in to LA, and he was close to being reprising Dave Mason. But I think I don't quote me, but I remember Kamar saying that they were doing assets, and I'm pretty sure. And Kamar was a savvy guy, so he may have signed his AI rights over to that. My advice to you is just do it. Don't just do it. Just get going. You'll figure it out on the way. You gotta get started. 2026 has got to be the year of just getting started. Just get going. Don't worry. Don't make it perfect. Doesn't need to be perfect. Just get going. Whatever you want to do, just get started on it. You'll find out what's needed once you start moving down. If you wait for it to be perfect, it's not going to happen. So get started. Get moving. Victor Hansen, just brilliance. Hillsdale College. I take a lot of classes at Hillsdale College. You know, brilliant. "65-year-old New Yorker can't go 5 seconds without mentioning law and order." I don't know what that means. I have no idea what you're talking about. Hey, legendary gamer. Dave gave me one quote that I'm still trying to understand. The advice was, do not let perfection get in the way of greatness. Yeah. Sometimes it means I overwork shit. Sometimes I overthink things. Sometimes I just overdo things. So yeah. Do not let the pursuit of perfection get in the way of greatness. Sometimes it's there. Sometimes, like I was just doing this I was remastering a song last night, and I had to take that advice. You know what? I'm picking this thing apart and just let it go. Just let it go. Yeah. Yeah, well, again, who knows? I can't. I'm not in the room. I don't know what happened with any of this stuff. I don't know. The dots are a little annoying to put on, but it became part of the process. It's all different now. Now they just paint on a grid, and they have a camera here. before the dots, but again, once you always take an obstacle and turn it into a strength. So that 90 minutes in the chair became my rehearsal, became my focus point. I had a soundtrack running. I had my 60 songs on a soundtrack, and it became, everybody enjoyed it. It kind of got us into all stuff from the 60s, from the, Hendrix and Creedence and all these great songs, and Stones, all this time period music, which would trigger me to remember, my connection to the 60s. So so you turned it into an asset. So that sitting there for 90 minutes to put all the dots on, that became integral. Is that the word? Is it integral or integral? Integral to performance. Because if it just gave me time, I'd focus and I'd be ready. I'd have the script there, or the changes that came in the night before. Yeah. All right, get back there. Just get started, man. Just get started. Don't try to figure it out. Just get started. I love winter. I miss the snow. Yeah, Michelle, do it. This is a quickie today. Just saying hi. Welcome in 2026. Want to talk a little bit about events. Yeah, I lost Stranger Things halfway through season 2. Just that lost interest. Yeah. Oh, thanks. Only one. Thanks. Appreciate that. Yeah, it did. They got a lot of it right, didn't they? What's crazy, and I said this before, it's crazy, is that Black Ops 2 is now a historical video game. It took place in the past. That's what's crazy. That's what's so freaky to me. It's like, oh my God, it's like this futuristic game that took place in the future is now a historical document. Crazy. Yeah, I hear that a lot, and Yeah, I think it's going to happen. I'm going to be back on Wednesday night, but it's the 14th. It's going to drop on the 14th. That's Wednesday, and yeah. Is that true? Because I think Vanguard was. I think he did it. I think Kamara was there. Oh, but yeah, I have been fighting with that for a month. My voice goes in and out. Rest, Stania, rest. Take rest. Take all the rest you can get, and just stop talking. They'll always need men like us. I love it. Well, Freebird was the 70s. I'm sorry about that. Freebird came about in 1975, I think. I'm talking about 60s. I'm talking like Creedence was a product of the late 60s. Hendrix, Watchtower, The Who, the 60s. Super low key, no key, recovering, resting, super low key, sleeping mostly. It depends, it depends on the story, on timing. It's sure. I would entertain the invitation, absolutely. Was that a dig? Yeah, I dig a pony. I dig a pygmy. Rest, Steiny, rest. Stop, it's like rest. I use a lot of eucalyptus, eucalyptus, and what really helps me, but it's really hard to handle. A fisherman friend, you know what that is? A fisherman friends, those little lozenges. They are super, super, super pungent, and I usually take those, and I'll make a tea out of that in some echinacea, and I drop those, and it's really almost just that and Vicks. Vicks on your throat. Yeah. Believe me, you guys, for you, the 50s is what the 1900s were for me. That's your frame of reference. You will never know life without an iPhone unless something awful happens. I grew up without a phone. You'll never know life without instantaneous access to information. TV, when I was growing up, TV was on from basically 6 in the morning until 11 o'clock at night. There was no late night TV. We had party lines. Privacy didn't exist. You want to talk to, I remember just trying to be getting smooth with I was 12 or 13 and trying to get smooth with a girl on the phone, and my mom's sitting in the kitchen and you're trying to talk and be smooth. It just wasn't, Oh yeah. I didn't have an iPhone. I didn't have a cell phone until I was like in my 30s. I just never wanted one. Never needed one. In New York, I was in New York in the 80s and the 90s. One of the things in life you would have to get like stacks of quarters, especially if you're running any kind of business. And there were just these blocks and blocks and blocks of payphones, and you walk in and you just quarters in, and that's how you communicated. I probably had, in my memory, I probably had 70 or 80 phone numbers I remembered. Like I could rip off all my friends. I had all my hockey buddies, my work, my family, old friends, new friends, and I had a little black book too. I kept all my phone numbers in, right? But easily I could rip off 30 or 40 phone numbers. Easily. That's I can't remember what day it is now. Hey, Rebellious Cat, how you doing? Well, I think a lot of old music you're hearing now. I hear all the samples. I go, that's Sly and the Family Stone. That's not new. That's an old Beatles song. I hear it. I just hear how people have kind of sampled through things. There's very little original music these days. I watched the series. I get it. I'm now watching Fallout. I kind of like that. Or like I think I'm done. I think all my motivations for playing games are gone. That may change next year. Right now I'm on a 3-month mission. I have a very limited scope of what I'm willing to do and willing to pay attention to. Very small scope, very narrow. And I'm not playing hockey anymore. I'm done with that for a year, at least until the summer. Yeah, it's all about getting this launch done. There's no room for anything else, for nothing else. I don't have the discipline anymore to just carry on 2 or 3 things. Right now, I got my health and staying healthy and getting this music project completed. I'm almost done. I'm so close. I am so freaking close. Extani, I am definitely going to be at the Connected Comic-Con. That's the first weekend that is the second weekend in March. I'll be in Stockton, California, first weekend. So yeah, I still love hockey. Watching the highlights, but right now I don't have. It's really about how do I spend. I love what I do. It's a good. It's going to cost me a lot. It's going to cost me a lot, but it's the things that I'm losing. If I lose them, then they're really not. Here's how: if you let something go and it goes away, it was never yours, right? You got to believe that, because if you're doing something that really completes your being, I don't want to use the word soul because it's kind of cheap, but if it's something that really feels like, okay, this is what I want to do, and it feels like it completes your existence for yourself, then do it. And if people fall away from that, if they can't understand that you need to be left alone to do this, then they're not the people you need around you. And that's a harsh thing, but it's really important. Remember, if you're moving towards something and it's really important to you, then the people around you should be able to say, look, I love you, go do it. I'll see you when you're done. Well, 2004 has already happened. It's already done. You already had the internet. Internet. Again, there was a day when internet was something you went out for, right? Getting internet, and it was dial-up. You guys, does anybody out there remember dial-up? Basically, AOL. You get an AOL account, and you would have to make a phone call, and you would that was your internet connection. And it was just to get like a page, like a document. It could take you 3 or 4 minutes to download, and it was just in our world that was just amazing. It was so fast. You have a document. It was My first computer was a what the hell is it called? It was a single unit. Company's out of business now too. What the hell was it called? I don't remember a second. Yes, I do a lot. Actually, I do more now than I did back in the day. It depends on the Comic-Con. Sometimes they pay me to be there. Love me some Blues. I'm glad you guys finally won a championship. Love my Blues. Love my St. Louis Blues. Again, so far this year, the only Comic-Cons I have this year are going to be Stockton, Connecticut, and Mohegan Sun, and then Kansas City. I'll be in Kansas City the first weekend of April. All right, Spider-Man, go enjoy your life, man, and just remember, go slow. Go slow. Let the traffic zip around you. Just enjoy the trip and just enjoy being with your woman. That's all. And I don't know if you got a dog, it'd be great to have a dog. Yeah. You remember dial-up, right? Oh, the noise. Absolutely. There you go. Yeah. Wasn't that great? Free range childhood. Wasn't that just great? Hey, Intimidator, how you doing? What was the company? It started with a P, not Packard. Oh my God, it's very popular. There's a really popular home computer. It's gone now. They got absorbed. It started with a P. Yeah. All right, see, you got to hear this thing. When you watch Godfather 1, you must watch Godfather 2 right away. You can't watch 1. You must watch 1 and 2 in sequence. Forget about 3. Nobody cares about 3. When you watch Goodfellas, seminal, best movie, back when I used to really like, it was just Goodfellas, just great movie. But when you watch Goodfellas, you must immediately watch after a drink or maybe a piece of pizza, some pasta, something. You go right immediately and you watch Casino, because it's almost as if Casino felt like it was almost a sequel to Goodfellas. I just you watch 1, I have to watch it. I can't watch, and then the next week you got to watch Chinatown. Yeah. Tyler Kemp, I'm having a great day. If they ask me to, I'm willing to negotiate that. Oh my gosh, it's almost 11:30. Showtime, Mason. Yes, it is. Yeah. Oh, it's a presario. It's called a presario. Not CompuWare. I gotta remember this now. because my buddy Gordon told me to get this. Hang on, I gotta look this up. Compact, COMPAQ, Compact Presario. That's my first computer. It's like a television set with a computer. It's super slow. It's great. My first, and I was super fast. I think it had 55 megabytes. You know, which is like, and memory. It had 250 megabytes of memory, and I thought that was just the biggest thing in the world. And remember one year they came out with a 1 gigabyte computer, and we just thought that, you can save up to 700 songs on that. That was the thing. You can save 100 songs on your Walkman, and I got 100 songs. It's to this day I've got songs from that original computer. Although Apple won't let me play them anymore. So, anyways, yeah, wow. So yeah, it's a great question. Sam was not available for it. He probably would have done great. It just wasn't time. And the actor that really made it work was it's two of them, Andrew Hawks and Jeremy Dunn, two legendary quintessential mocap actors. I think they're still involved, but you're not gonna. They're not the voices, but they definitely were there for me to do what I needed to do. So I really appreciate them. My free time. What is that? What is free time? I don't know what that is. My free time is tomahawk steaks, which I have one. Thank you if you're listening. Thank you if you're listening. Not yet. No. Stein, yeah. I remember when color TV was a thing. We had black and white TV forever. And I saw I don't know how I watch sports on a black and white TV. It's as if we're so spoiled. Not spoiled. We're just used to such high quality images now. No, I don't want to use my brain power that way. I don't do that. Those hypotheticals do not really serve me. So no. I'm good for a couple steaks a week. Yeah, I don't do much. What's it called? Starch. I'm not a starch-based guy. Potatoes almost never. Every now and then I'll get crazy. Bread, maybe a slice of toast per day. It's not any prohibitive diet, which means I am not eating. It's like I don't eat it not because of something I'm not hungry for it. I just don't want it. I don't desire it. But a steak, and steaks are the ultimate food. Yeah, just eat tomahawks. I'm not paying attention. Probably Indiana. I'm not paying attention. I don't really. College football has lost me. Just like college hockey's about to lose me. This NIL stuff. These guys being paid. I missed. I played college hockey, and I played a little bit of minor league professional hockey too. But I love it for the guys. This sport is good, but it's like. There's something to be said for the student athlete, and that's gone, and I really feel bad for these guys who are. I just hope that when these kids who are making money take the money and invest it and build a future, because not everybody's going to make, only one out of every 100 get a shot at the NFL. And so if you're moving around, if you're moving around the country trying to get the best deal to play, I really hope there's some intelligence there. So look at, if you keep moving around, you go for 3-4 different schools. Two things: you're not going to finish an education, and you're not going to create the relationships that carry you through life, because life's about relationships. So you go to college. You're going to college, to hopefully learn something that's practical and useful, but you're going for the relationships that the friends you make, that so you go into the world together as a pack. You help your friends, you help each other to grow and develop, and give each other a helping hand. So it's the relationships. And if you don't spend time at college, you're not developing those. If you don't spend your time in one place and repetitive interaction, you're not going to build those bonds, that bonding that is really it's almost essential for building a life. Hey, Abdullah. Well, I don't know if it's criminal, but I do know that it's a decision they made. Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. Hey, Wood says GTA speak Menendez. I don't know what that means. I don't do that shit, man. I don't know. I if there's a character in that felt, I'm not compelled to do that. I'm not really funny like that. So, I don't know. I don't do that. All right, it's 12:30. I'm going to check out now because I get back to work. I got a deadline to meet. Thank you, everybody, for coming by today. Take care of yourselves. Remember, if you're working on something, dig in. All right, put the blinders on. Get focused. If it's make decisions based on if that conversation is not moving you towards the goal you need, then change the conversation until you get there. And then once you get a little bit of momentum, then you can use that energy elsewhere. But stay focused. And if you're trying to get something going this year, when we hang up from this conversation, get started. I don't care if it's just picking up a paper and drawing out a game plan. Get moving. Get in. If you're stuck, get up, take a walk. Movement, emotional, intellectual, and physical movement. Just get going. Get out of your chair, get out of your state, and get started. All right? You got this. You fucking got it. You got to build. You got to start building now. We all got to get going now, okay? Because it's early and you can get a lot done in the next 48 hours. You can get so much accomplished. And then when Monday comes, that's it, man. Kind of in a holding pattern here. 2026 is not quite happening. On Monday, the phone starts ringing again. Or it should. So anyways, let's get started. Hey, Chicken Nugget, how you doing? Any last comments? Any last moments up there? Anything to be said? All right, Stania. Remember, go get some Fisherman's Friend. It's going to be painful, but the eucalyptus for me really did the number. Yeah. All right. Everybody, take care, and I'll be back probably on Wednesday. All right. What's up?